Hello everybody, it's Monday and here we are again, and I hope that we are able to really get into the writing this week because it's going to be fun. This is my YouTube channel on writing. I heard somebody refer to it the other day as the writing YouTube channel, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank everybody who is listening to the video, watching the video. A lot of aspiring writers taking notes, and I can tell you right now that you will learn a great deal. I don't have anything to keep from you in fear that you might get a little bit ahead of me. I want everybody to follow their dream of becoming a published author and enjoy it and be passionate about it and be serious about your writing. Be serious about your rewriting. Be serious about the polish. Be serious about doing the research that you have to do to really know what you're doing. And don't just call yourself a poet or a writer and just write all this mess that nobody will read and you have to give your books away. Let's don't do that. Let's learn. Let's learn from people who have been there and done it. Don't think I became a writer overnight. I didn't become a writer overnight. I studied. And one thing I'm going to talk about today, just get this thing going. Writing for love and maybe money. Don't forget that. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel. Click that like, because that's the way YouTube knows I'm here, is everybody liking my channel. Now, let me, I said in the video on Friday, and this is Monday, this is April the 29th. A lot of really great things are happening in our local area this week. A young man that I was able to influence for good, I hope, when he was growing up, is running for sheriff of our county, and his name is Fred Cole. So if you're local and you're going to vote tomorrow, please vote for him, because I'll tell you, he's a sweetheart. I've known him all his life. He's a good, honest, solid family man. He's educated to this. He knows what he's doing. He's worked in all areas of law enforcement. I guess you could call this a political ad. Okay, vote Cole at the polls tomorrow in Coffee County, Georgia. Now, as far as the writing, here's what I was going to talk about today. I promised you guys on Friday that I would hit on some things that you're really interested in. I have people come to me all the time, wanting to know how to write a song, wanting to know how to write a children's book. That's going to be next. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about writing song or songwriting basics so that you will know how to write a song. I have a good friend, Dr. Fred Gilliard in Augusta, who wants to write a song. I just feel it in my bones that he's going to write a really good song. He is a writer, and he writes for, I think it's the medical examiner. I'm not real sure. You correct me on that in a comment if that's true. And I have another friend over here down in Jacksonville, Florida, that's a poet, and she's a fairly good poet, and she wants to write a song, but she wants to know where to start and how to do it, and I don't much blame her. I would do my research before I wrote anything. Now, I have people say to me, well, you do so much research and formatting that this takes away the creativity. No, 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 no. Please, no. That does not take away your creativity. If you're a creative writer, you have the freedom to feel the muse working and the writing spirits are stirring, and you can write what you want. But you have to keep in mind certain things if you want to share that with the rest of the world. If you want a good career as a writer, you can have that. But you have to research, you have to study, you have to do a little formatting, you have to take constructive criticism, which a lot of people can't take and won't take. I myself have been at odds with some creative constructive criticism that I didn't feel was lining up with what I had in my mind as I'm like, who are they to criticize my writing? But as I grew and matured with my writing, I began to realize, especially the editors that I worked with in New York, I began to realize, my goodness, I've been mentored by Eugenia Price over at St. Simon's Island. I've had great mentors, Terry Kay. If these people don't know what they're doing, who does? And so I'm intelligent enough to know that I need to listen to these great writers that are trying to advise me a little bit. And I'll give you some of the great advice that they've shared with me over the years in a video. I want to talk to you a little bit about songwriting, okay? Everybody says, oh, I've got a song, I'm going to get somebody to cut it. The way for you to write a song that will get cut someday and that will get recorded correctly, I'm going to give all this to you as fast as I can because it's a lot. I may even take up the Friday video and continue with songwriting. I have been blessed to be born in a musical family, the Mercer family. I am related to Johnny Mercer, and I'll tell you one thing, every kid in my family got a guitar to start with. That's the first gift that I ever got, was a guitar from my Aunt Maud. Now, my daddy and his siblings and all, that's all they talked about was Uncle Johnny, and that's all they did in their spare time was music. Well, down here in the Bible Belt, we kind of all love music. There's so many musicians down here. I had a cousin that could sing. He was a tenor singer. His daughter has a beautiful voice, and his name was Man Kirkland. He was the Kirkland family singers, and they traveled around on a tour bus, and he even got to sing at the White House, and I think George Bush was up there at that point in time, and he's passed away now. But his son Cliff Kirkland has a church, and he and his wife, as I understand it, well, he sings, and I'll tell you, just a beautiful voice. So I come from music. I can't sing. Now, I have tried it in the past, and after I listened to myself on tape, I said, good grief, I need to stick to the writing. So that's what we're doing, is we're trying to get a song written here, okay? And I think what I'm going to tell you will inspire you to write a song and will enable you to write a song without you taking 40 years of study and classes. That I've studied with hit songwriters, and I can tell you right now, be sure, if you want to write songs, go to Nashville, get in some of the organizations that support songwriters, and I've been in those before. I've been very blessed to be invited to be the hostess for the Jason Aldean stage once with Treasure Isle Recorders at the Songwriters Festivals. I used to help with them. I used to take lots of teenagers and lots of people who wanted to get into music to Nashville and help them get into music. And I've been called by people from New York all the way down all over the place, wanting me to consult with them and tell them how to get into music. Now, I will tell you, I have beautiful friends who can sing the socks off of any song that's written. I have gospel singing friends, Ronnie Cheney and Sharon Cheney. They pastor a church out in Arkansas, and I'll tell you one thing, they have got beautiful voices. Judy True Love Foskey across the branch. I could probably stand out in my yard and wave, and she's going to be driving by, her and her husband. Or I could just yell real loud, and all of a sudden Judy would hear my cry, because she's a great friend of mine, and she's a great singer. I would love for her to cut a gospel album right now. She has dedicated her life to singing gospel music, and she's quite well known. We just love her so good. I have lots of great musician friends. I've been able to teach a lot of young people how to write a song. How do you write a song? Well, the first thing you've got to do, and the first thing that I do is I don't try to think of the title. The title's going to come to me, and normally the title comes to me out of the chorus. And as a songwriter, I always start with the chorus. I always write the chorus first, and then I work the verses that are around it, and I work the bridge, and so on and so forth. If you're writing a song, that song has to have structure, okay? And what is the structure? You tell me, okay? I'm gonna let you figure out your own lyrics as far as the writing goes, but I'll tell you a few things about writing those lyrics that apply. And you can't go to Nashville and cut a song with just 9 pages of gibberish. I did have a songwriter come to me one time with a really good song, a young guy from Valdosta, and he had written 9 pages of a song, handwritten, in a composition book. And I said, honey, the song is a little bit long. Okay, what am I saying? A song is going to be a certain number of minutes long. It's not just going to go on forever. It also is not going to be 1 minute long. It's going to be a certain number of minutes long to fit into what's being played on radio. I would say that if you write a 2.5 or 3 or 4 minute song, a 3 or 4 minute song is going to be really good. If you're a jazz artist like the great John Richards, who I've started him on his own YouTube channel, and everybody just loving it, and he is a wonderful jazz guitar player and has a beautiful voice. He knows everything about music, and he especially is good to me. We cut a lot of songs. We record a lot of songs in Nashville. Now, back up just a minute. When you start writing your song, you're going to start that song off with a hook. You're gonna now you be writing this down, okay? If you want to write song, your song is gonna be about 3 or 4 minutes long, 3.5 or 4 minutes, or 4 minutes and 10 seconds long, or something like that. You think of what you want to say. That's going to be the hook. What is the hook of this song? Because that hook is going to show up in where? It's going to show up in the chorus of the song. The chorus is the most important part of the song as far as writers go, as far as your songwriting. And I hope that I hope that some of my great friends in Nashville, like Joe Crow, Joy Ford, I hope you guys are listening to me. I hope Robert Hammerstrom out on the West Coast, his record label has a fabulous singer. You've heard me say her name, Lori Hardman. She just recorded a song I wrote called House Beside the Road. You will all get to hear that very soon, and I hope you love it like I do. When writing a song, you start with your hook. What's this about? The inciting incident. What is the action that gets this song off the hook? Now, think about that song Allison Krauss and Brad Paisley sung. I hope I'm right on that. Think about Whiskey Lullaby. The first few words in that song, the first line of lyric in that song, she put him out. I know instantly this song is about somebody breaking somebody's heart. And since this song was a duet, it has 2 parts. It has a her part and a him part. It's what we call a duet. Just beautiful. She put him out like the burning end of a midnight cigarette. Oh, how beautiful that is. Great songwriting there. And I will tell you that in gospel writing of songs and in country music, now, I'm talking about traditional country music here. And that song's got to have a structure, okay? What's your hook? What's your title? And always remember that the title is not copyrightable. Now, the song and the composition is copyrightable. You must get that copyrighted. You don't necessarily have to get it copyrighted on day one, because the copyright laws state that a song or a piece of artwork, a poem, a story, whatever, once it is fixed in a fixed form, what that means is written down or sung and recorded or whatever, it is protected by copyright. And there's such a thing as a poor man's copyright, sending yourself a copy of it in the mail and don't open the envelope, or you can go to the U.S. Copyright Office and get this copyrighted. There's a lot about songwriting that I'm going to be able to share with you, and I have shared with so many over the years, and the consults that I've done all over everywhere, and I've just enjoyed that so much because I have helped some songwriters and some musicians become very successful singers, and I'm really proud of that. So you're starting to write your song, and you know this song's got to have a structure. The structure normally goes by this. Jot this down, okay? The structure normally follows this format, okay? It's going to be the first verse, and the first verse and the singing is going to start a few minutes after the first music. The first music is called the musical intro, and this is going to get this song going and get to the lyrics, okay? So you have a few minutes of that. You may not have but a few seconds of that, depending on how your creativity and how the song is produced, but you may have a really great opening. Does everybody remember the opening and let me see, Wipeout? Of course. You'll never forget that. When you hear certain songs, the first strains of music, you know what that song is. You hit that dance floor, or you get ready to get the popcorn or whatever, or you get ready to get a hanky, because you kind of know by certain opening riffs, we call it, what that song is. You know the title of the song without them even saying anything. So you start with the first verse, and you have got to tell me in the verse what happened. Then you've got a chorus, then you've got another verse, then you've got a chorus, then you've got a bridge, and of course another time or two, depending on what you need and how many minutes you're going to let this song go. You kind of know how to structure this, but it's going to have a musical intro, it's going to have a verse, it's going to maybe have another verse, but I would say verse, chorus, bridge, and I'll tell you what all these parts are. You're not going to be left hanging, okay, to write the song. You're writing the song, but you're knowing what you're doing, okay? It took me many years to learn all this stuff and to practice it. Now, I want to tell you one good little trick here to songwriting. The word that, T-H-A-T, is the most overused word in the English language. You cannot strike that out. That word, that, will drive you nuts, and it drives the listener nuts. So when I am talking, I don't use a lot of the word that, and nobody else does that either. That's because the word that is so aggravating and unneeded is the main thing. So you don't really need the word that all the time in your writing. And so you remember that, okay, please? Okay, so in the songwriting, when you're writing your song lyrics, you will write this verse in a stanza format. It'll be an AAB, an ABAB, 4 lines. If it's going to be 4 lines in the first verse, it better be 4 lines in the second verse, and the third verse, and maybe even a fourth verse. But stick to the same format that you start with. Now the chorus can be different. The chorus could be 6 lines or 3. But the verses have to all be consistent. If you write 4 lines of lyric, that is going to be 2 stanzas per verse, okay, for the 4 lines. In traditional country music, we like rhythm. We like rhythm in our music, and what we like in our writing is we like rhyme. We like For instance, I'll give you one idea here just off the top of my head. I love Kenny Chesney's music. He is such a nice kid. I have prayed for him and Keith Urban both a lot. He is just a wonderful songwriter. He wrote one that I really liked called, and it went like this. And here's the format of that, okay? In the morning I'm leaving, making my way back to Cleveland, but I'll be just fine. That's the first verse, okay? And that's an AAB format. The first line rhymes with the second line, A, and then the third line doesn't rhyme with the first two lines. In the morning I'm leaving, making my way back to Cleveland, but I know I'll be just fine. And then the second verse goes like this: and I don't see how you can be anything but mine. You see what I just did? I had a AAB, and then I had a AAB. The first two lines in each of those little stanzas rhyme. AA rhymed, and then B rhymes with the third line of the second stanza. So AAB, AAB. Now, in traditional country music, there's a whole lot of four-line verses, and I'm going to give you some examples of them on Friday. But you've got your songwriting format, you've got your dynamite hook or title to this song, which is not copyrightable, and then you're going to write your chorus. And I'll start off by Friday talking to you about writing the chorus. The chorus is, sit down and write this down, okay? Write this down. The chorus is the most important part of the song. This is the money part. This is what people sing while they're standing in a line. They're humming the song. Have you ever had a song that you said that line of that song is just stuck in my head? I just can't get that out of my head. I've just been singing it day and night. You're singing the chorus, okay? The chorus is what people remember. The chorus is why they call the radio station and beg them to replay that song they heard, because they love that chorus. Okay. There's a lot more to songwriting than this one video. I may take up the video Friday and another video or two talking about songwriting, but guess what? We've started talking about songwriting just like I said we would, and I'm so excited about that. I want everybody that wants to write a song to write a song. I have worked with musicians that are so competitive. They're so jealous when somebody else gets up and sings one. Don't be like that. You know what? That light shines brightly for all of us. There's enough room on the stage for all of us. All of us work in love and unity and side by side, and we're a team, okay? And that's how I love songwriters, because they have a brotherhood, kind of like the brothers in World War II. It is wonderful brotherhood of musicians. And after you write this song down, we're going to finish talking about how you're going to write this song. I've got some great ideas for you about writing the song, and one of those ideas that I want you to go to Nashville and record this song in a good studio with an absolutely excellent creative engineer, and you're going to have a recorded song. And the reason you go to Nashville instead of out here down the road to so-and-so's music lab, the reason you go to Nashville is to get that Nashville sound. I see you guys on Friday.